Welcome to ScoreLine Daily. Today we take you through a journey of pure football magic, a countdown of the top 10 unforgettable moments in NFL history. These are the plays and games that shaped generations, that turned casual fans into lifelong diehards, and that etched the NFL into the cultural fabric of America. Sit back, because over the next 40 minutes we will relive triumphs, heartbreaks, controversy, and the kind of sheer drama that only football can deliver. It all begins with the Ice Bowl in 1967, one of the coldest games ever played in NFL history. The temperature in Green Bay was -13 degrees Fahrenheit, the wind chill made it feel like -40, and yet more than 50,000 fans packed Lambeau Field to watch the Packers and Cowboys battle for the NFL championship. The frozen turf was so hard players could barely keep their footing, breath froze in midair, and referees' whistles stuck to their lips. But despite the brutal conditions, both teams fought with relentless will. The game came down to the final seconds, with Bart Starr sneaking behind Jerry Kramer's block to score the winning touchdown. It wasn't just a football game, it was a test of endurance, of grit, of heart. The Ice Bowl remains a symbol of what it means to play through adversity and why football is as much about toughness as talent. From the frozen tundra we move to 1972, to one of the most controversial and miraculous plays in NFL history, the Immaculate Reception. The Pittsburgh Steelers were down 7-6 to the Oakland Raiders with only 22 seconds left. Terry Bradshaw launched a desperate pass downfield. The ball ricocheted off a collision, and seemingly out of nowhere, Franco Harris plucked it inches from the ground and dashed into the end zone. Fans were stunned, the Raiders protested, but the referees signaled touchdown. That play didn't just win a game, it launched the Steelers into a new era and ignited one of the greatest dynasties in football. To this day, people still argue whether the ball touched the ground or not, but one thing is certain, it was a moment that changed the NFL forever. We cannot talk about legendary comebacks without Joe Montana's brilliance in Super Bowl 23. The 49ers trailed the Bengals late in the fourth quarter. With just over 3 minutes remaining, Montana stood cool in the huddle, even pointing out comedian John Candy in the stands to calm his teammates. Then he orchestrated a flawless 92-yard drive, capped off with a touchdown pass to John Taylor with 34 seconds left. That drive didn't just win the game, it defined Montana as Joe Cool and cemented the 49ers as the team of the decade. It remains a masterclass in leadership, poise, and precision. Years later, in Super Bowl 42, another miracle would shock the football world, the helmet catch. The New England Patriots were chasing perfection, a 19-0 season, and looked poised to seal their place as the greatest team in history. But with under 2 minutes left, Eli Manning escaped a near sack, scrambled free, and heaved the ball downfield. David Tyree, a receiver with just 4 catches that season, leapt and pinned the ball against his helmet while falling to the ground. It was improbable, it was impossible, but it was real. That play set up the winning touchdown and ended the Patriots' perfect dream. It was a reminder that in football, nothing is guaranteed, and underdogs can rise in the biggest moments. Controversy has always fueled debate in football, and no moment sparked more arguments than the Tuck Rule game in 2002. In a snowy playoff battle between the Patriots and Raiders, Charles Woodson stripped Tom Brady late in the fourth quarter. The Raiders recovered, seemingly sealing the win. But after review, referees ruled it an incomplete pass due to the obscure Tuck Rule. The Patriots retained possession, tied the game, and won in overtime. That single call didn't just change a game, it changed the trajectory of a franchise. Without that ruling, perhaps there is no Brady dynasty, no Belichick era of dominance. To this day, Raider fans call it robbery, Patriot fans call it destiny, and the rest of the NFL remembers it as one of the most controversial rulings in history. Athleticism can turn a single moment into legend, and no one embodied that more than Lynn Swann in Super Bowl X. Facing the Cowboys, Swann turned impossible passes into breathtaking catches, leaping, twisting, and snagging the ball in ways that defied logic. He finished with 161 yards and was named Super Bowl MVP, but more importantly, he elevated the art of receiving. His highlight reel that day became inspiration for generations of wideouts, showing that grace and acrobatics could define the game just as much as power and speed. Then came the Music City Miracle in 2000. With 16 seconds left, the Titans trailed the Bills in a playoff game. On the kickoff return, Frank Wycheck lateraled across the field to Kevin Dyson, who sprinted 75 yards down the sideline for a touchdown. Fans erupted, commentators lost their voices, and controversy swirled over whether the lateral was legal. The play stood, the Titans advanced, and it became one of the most unforgettable finishes in NFL postseason history. Emotion runs deep in football, and no moment captured it more than Brett Favre's farewell. Known for his gunslinger style and unmatched durability, Favre's career was filled with dramatic highs and gut-wrenching lows. His final moments on the field, whether in Green Bay or his later stints, were met with tears, applause, and respect. When he threw his last touchdown and waved goodbye, fans knew they were witnessing the end of an era. It wasn't just the end of a player's career, it was the closing of a chapter that defined football in the 90s and 2000s. The pursuit of perfection reached its peak with the 2007 Patriots. Winning every game in the regular season, they stood on the brink of immortality. Every week felt like history in the making, and fans tuned in just to see if anyone could stop them. Their dominance was unmatched, their offense electric, but in the end, perfection slipped away in the Super Bowl with the helmet catch. Still, that season remains one of the most thrilling in NFL history, a reminder that chasing perfection can be just as legendary as achieving it. Finally, we arrive at the countless last-minute touchdowns that have defined eras, shattered hearts, and lifted spirits. From Aaron Rodgers' Hail Marys to miracle finishes across decades, these moments capture why we watch until the very last second. They remind us that football is never over until the clock hits zero. And so, as we wrap up this journey through the greatest moments in NFL history, one truth stands out: football is more than a game. It is passion, heartbreak, glory, and legacy all rolled into one. These 10 unforgettable moments are not just plays on a field, they are stories that will be told for generations. If you enjoyed reliving these memories with us today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to ScoreLine Daily, and ring the bell for more incredible sports stories. And in the comments, tell us your favorite NFL moment, and why it matters to you. Because football is not just history, it's personal, and every fan has their own story to tell.